Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Welcome to our first TBR video in our new setup. This is exciting. It probably doesn't look that different to you, but I promise it is because, well, I moved house. For this month's TBR, I thought we would change it up a bit. We've been doing the same thing for the past few months and I thought, why not make it a little bit different this month? And I'm always wanting to take your recommendations on board and read what you're wanting to see me read, to see my opinions, put them in reading vlogs, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, what better way to do that than ask you what you want me to read. So basically I posted a video on my TikTok giving you the massive list of books that are on my hopefuls for the month of July. So kind of all the books that I have on my radar that I would love to get to, but honestly, there was quite a lot of them. I'm not going to get to that many of them. I usually pick between 6 and 7 books to go on my TBR for a month. And that's usually a good number. I never get to all of them, but I do get to a good amount of them. And I definitely have this month. So I gave you my list and I told you to comment which books you'd love to see me read most. And I have counted up all the comments, all the votes, and put them on a very professional little sticky note here. And we're gonna go through them and see which books got the most votes. And they will be the ones I will be reading in the month of July. So obviously first, I'm just gonna tell you all the books that are on my TBR and I'll grab them off the shelf if I have a physical copy. So number 1, we have The Jazzed Air. This has been on my TBR before, I think. And this is a Egyptian-inspired fantasy romance, Egyptian mythology-inspired fantasy romance. I love a good mythology-inspired romance. Like, the Percy Jackson series sparked my love for that. I've always been really interested in Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and especially Egyptian mythology. So this has been on my radar for a while. I've just been a little bit intimidated by it because I have heard mixed reviews, but all of you in my comments were saying that this was amazing. So I'm very interested in it now. I believe our protagonist is like an heir to a kingdom and she's trying to stay hidden for her own safety, for the good of her people. And it's kind of a game of hidden identities, all that kind of stuff. I'm not entirely too sure and I do want to go in blind, but I've heard it's an enemies to lovers. We love a good enemies to lovers, so I'm very excited that this is on the potential list. We then have A Conjuring of Light. This is the 3rd and final book in the Dark Shade of Magic trilogy. I've read the first 2 books, obviously, and absolutely love them. I just love the way V. Schwab has like created characters, how she writes. I just think it's amazing. Basically, in A Dark Shade of Magic, we are following 2 people. One is a traveler. He can travel between the different realities of London. So in this world, we have different realities of London. We have the Black London, the White London, the Red London, and the Grey London, I believe. Yes, 4 different realities. And we're following him. The magic system is just so unique. And then we're also following Delilah. I believe it's Delilah, or Lila is her nickname. I love her. She is a thief. Her and Kel cross paths and a little tiny romance sparks. It's very little, but I'm here for it. And I do really want to read this soon. I'm really in the mood for it at the moment. I might even start it like tomorrow because I'm about to finish the book I'm currently reading. So I'm very excited about this one. Another book in a series, the 2nd book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. This is called The Well of Ascension, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I reread Mistborn, The Final Empire last month and absolutely loved it. I hadn't read it in a while and I wanted to like completely refresh my memory before I went into this one, just so like I know what's going on. Literally as good as I remember. Hang on, I'm gonna correct this lighting 1 second. I don't know if that's better at all, but I hope it is. So, The Well of Ascension. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm really not sure. I have trouble pronouncing things a lot of the time. Anyway, the Mistborn series is kind of the start. A lot of people recommend it to be the start of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, because if you don't know, Brandon Sanderson is like this incredible fantasy author who has numerous series and they are all interconnected. They all tie into each other and it's kind of hard to like know where to start. So the Mistborn series is a great place to start. So I'm starting to work my way through it. As I said, absolutely obsessed with it, absolutely loving it. Cannot wait to continue this series. This book though, scarily big, like really big, and it terrifies me. A lot of these are series I'm currently in the middle of trying to get convinced to finish because I need to. Sarah J Maas, Crescent City 3. This series I have very mixed feelings about. I don't mind Sarah J Maas. I do enjoy her writing. I think she's really fun, addictive, easy fantasy books to read. Crescent City 2, I hated. I really liked number 1, really loved the setting, loved the characters. Yeah, hated number 2. But the ending of number 2, I loved. And I was like, you know what? This is setting up so much potential for the next book. However, the reviews I have seen on this are so mixed. So I have put it on my TBR before and then just not got into it because it is very big. And I'm just scared that it's going to put me in a slump. Honestly, I really am. I've heard that the first like 300 pages are really good and then it just goes downhill. So I really don't know. I really don't know. But you know, it is on the radar. One for My Enemy by Oliver Blake is also on my kind of hopefuls for the month of July. I was meaning to get to it this month, but I feel like it's one of those books that you need like to put your full attention to before reading it, because Olivia Blake just has such a beautiful way of writing and I want to give her my full attention. So this has kind of just been on my radar at the moment. That's just a bookmark that got put in it when I bought it. I also love how Olivia Blake's books have like pictures in them. It just makes it so much better. I believe this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but with fantasy elements, which is fun. It sounds fun. I'm excited. And apparently like the writing in this and the quotes you get from this is absolutely outstanding. For a thriller, Penguin recently sent me In a Place of Darkness by Stuart McBride. This is just a thriller that sounds a lot like Criminal Minds, but also kind of mix in the movie The Zodiac. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. I get banned for that sort of stuff all the time on TikTok, so I'm being careful. But this sounds really interesting to me. I've very much been in my thriller era. I used to be obsessed with thrillers in high school, like obsessed with any of this kind of stuff. So this very much sounds like something 15-year-old me would have enjoyed, and I'm kind of feeling reminiscent at the moment. So this is also on my radar, especially if I'm feeling a bit slumpy. It looks it is quite big. It's 500 pages. That's quite big for a thriller. But yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. We then have Yours Truly, which was on my TBR last month, and I just didn't get to it because I didn't have a physical copy, and I want to annotate this one. I'm not a big annotating on my Kindle girly. I kind of just like speeding through stuff when I'm on my Kindle. So I didn't get to it this month, but I would love to get to it in July. Obviously that's been on my radar. I've just heard incredible things about this book and about the love story in it. I read A Place in Your World last month. I think so. Oh God, I'm losing track. Oh, not A Place in Your World, A Part of Your World. I read it a few months ago and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. Abby just has a beautiful way with words and creating characters. So I really want to read more of her writing in the future. And I feel like Yours Truly is the best place to start. Then I'm going to read just for the summer. So obviously that is again on my TBR, on my radar. And then lastly is the fourth book in the Natural series. This is an FBI young adult series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Jennifer Lynn Barnes also wrote the Inheritance games, and I actually didn't love the Inheritance games, but I really am enjoying the Natural series. So I'm up to the last book. I would love to get to it. I feel like I want the physical copy for this one. I don't know why, it just looks satisfying to hold. Sometimes I'm in my Kindle era, sometimes I'm in physical books. At the moment I need a physical book unless I'm lying in bed. So I'd really like to get it and read it very soon. As I said before, it's a YA mystery kind of thriller series with following a group of teenagers who actually help out the FBI solve cases. They all have these kind of natural abilities that can help the FBI, like lie detector, reading people's emotions, profiling, all that kind of stuff that really helps the FBI put together cases. It's so good. It's so addictive. It's so fun. Now I'm thinking about it, I just want to read it more. The last book that is on my kind of hopefuls is the third book in the Akane series. So I have read the first two books in the Akane series. Oh, the Madoran Chronicles, sorry. I don't have the physical book on me for the third one yet. I'm getting it. I've ordered it. The Akane series is set in a magic school. It gives Harry Potter vibes, but with a bit more magic. It's just the best vibes, like the best vibes. I love it so much. I'm actually obsessed with this series. I haven't felt so connected to a series in such a long time. So this is kind of probably going to be continued this month, whether it's voted or not. Honestly, I'm a mood reader, so whatever I read, it's just because I'm in the mood for it. But I have such high hopes for this series. How many books do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 books on the kind of hopefuls. I feel like that's most people's number of TBR books, but I'm going to be putting 6 on this TBR, so we'll see which ones. I have tallied up all the votes, all the comments. I think there were like 80 comments. These are the final results. For Conjuring of Light, we had 12 votes. It doesn't sound like much when I'm saying it, but I promise you it is. I feel like so many people in the comments were like, you have to finish this series, you have to. So many people have been wanting me to, so I really think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna commit, and this got 12 votes. That was quite a lot of votes, honestly. Actually, I think it was one of the highest. Straight away, this one got no votes, so sorry. The second book to the Mistborn series got a total of 9 votes, which is pretty good, honestly, very good. I'm putting them in order down here, by the way. Crescent City 3 got 3 votes. People do not want me to read this. Honestly, this got more like hate comments than good comments on this video. Most people were saying it was their most disappointing read of the year. Other people were just saying that it was just such a letdown of the series. And I know a lot of my friends who have read it just wasn't what they were hoping, if I'm plain and simple. So kind of glad I'm not gonna have to read that this month. I really didn't want to have to commit when I've got so many like big books on my TBR. The Akane series got 7 votes. Good, that's good, we're looking at it. The Jazzed Air got 10 votes. I actually wasn't expecting this one to be like so high up, but I'm kind of glad. Yours Truly got 12 votes. I know that it's such a loved book, so I'm not really surprised in that. The Natural series got 9 votes as well. I feel like we're gonna have a few ties here. Hopefully that's okay. And One for Your Enemy got 8 votes, which is actually very surprising. I didn't think it was gonna get that many. In case you haven't done the maths already, the top 2 books were A Conjuring of Light and Yours Truly. They both got 12 votes, so they are both going on my TBR, which I am so happy about. The Jazzed Air got 10 votes, so this is also going on my TBR. Mistborn 2 got a total of 9 votes, so yes, this is going on my TBR. I'm actually so happy about this because I'm in the mood for it at the moment. Even though it's so scary, it's so big, it's like 700 pages, and his writing is so dense. Great, but dense and confusing. The Naturals Bad Blood also got 9 votes, which is so good. So far we have 5. We need 1 more book. And One for Your Enemy got 8 votes. So this is also going on our TBR. I am very happy with that. I'm kind of sad Akane didn't get on there, but I feel like I'm going to be putting it on anyway because I'm really in the mood for that series and I'll put it in a little vlog. Anyway, let's do a little overview of what I'm going to be reading, hopefully in the month of July. For romances, we have one, and that is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Super excited about this one. Heard incredible things. That's it for romance. For mystery and thriller, we have Bad Blood, which is the 4th book in the Natural series. For romantasy, we have The Jazzed Air, which is an Egyptian-inspired romantasy. I don't know if this counts as romantasy. I think it does, but One for Your Enemy, One for My Enemy, is also going on the TBR. And then for just general fantasy, we have Mistborn 2 by Brandon Sanderson and A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I am very excited about this TBR. I think it is very promising. They are all what I'm in the mood for at the moment, so it's just so good. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much if you contributed to this video. I loved reading all your comments on all your thoughts of these books. Thanks for watching again, and I will see you for my monthly wrap up.